Hello everybody, my name is Josh from Fuji Spray, and in today's video we're going to show you how to perform a complete disassembly of your T-Model spray gun and demonstrate some areas of focus when performing a thorough clean. So first off, we're going to remove the needle spring at the back of the spray gun, and this is going to be the first item you're going to be removing. Pull the trigger and slide the needle right out. And the next thing we're going to move is the fluid screw nut at the back of the spray gun. So we're going to remove that with the cutout number 16 of your the wrench that the spray gun came included with. And once you remove that, you're going to have a little spring come out. Just set that down. Here's a spring. This is the spindle valve spring. Pull the trigger again and you're going to get the spindle valve come out. Now we're going to just try to remove the pressure tube here. Just popping it out like so from both sides. This come off and then this side like that. And then we can remove the cup assembly. We can use cutout number 19 again. Okay, we're going to put the cup assembly aside. Now we can remove the front components of the spray gun. Take the collar off and the air cap. Now we can remove the fluid nozzle. It's always important to remember that whenever you're going to disassemble the spray gun, that the needle comes out first. Otherwise, you're going to run the risk of damaging the tip of the needle if it's still installed when you're trying to remove the fluid nozzle. Okay, so we're going to do that. Set that down. And this here is the diffuser with diffuser seal. This is the air divider with air divider seal. And now here you have the front area of the spray gun. All of this is air passage. So you got to make sure that there's no contaminant or no buildup or no residue buildup in here, as this is an air passage. If there's anything going on here, then for sure you're going to experience spray problems. Next, we're going to remove the fan pattern control. So you're going to get a Phillips screwdriver and just go counterclockwise. And the fan pattern screw comes out. The control knob comes out. And now you're going to need a small wrench to remove this nut here. Put that the diverter. And now we're going to remove the rotating nipple at the back of the spray gun, and once again you can use the cutout of your included wrench. Okay, so this is almost done. We're just now going to remove the needle packing nut. Now there's a needle packing in here, but we're going to leave that for now, just for this video. Here at Fuji Spray, we typically have a tool to remove this retaining ring here, but most of you don't have that at home, so I'm going to show you how to carefully remove this retaining ring without damaging anything. This component tends to fly out, so be very careful when doing so. So we're going to get our smallest screwdriver and stick it right into that little indenture there and carefully twist it so that it slowly comes out. Okay, here we go. And here it is. Now you can push the trigger pin out and slide that out in place. And here's your trigger out. Okay, so now we have your spray gun fully disassembled. These components here, however, do not come out. We make sure that these components remain installed at all times. And if you do at some point do remove it, contact Fuji immediately. They're not meant to be removed. And now we're going to reassemble your spray gun. The first thing we're going to put back is this needle packing nut. Yay. Next thing we're going to put back is the trigger. Now the reason we're doing the needle packing nut first is because once you have the trigger in place, it's going to be very awkward finding space to put in your needle packing nut. So you got to make sure that the flat end of the trigger pin is inserted. The flat side is on the side that the fan pattern control knob is. You flip that over, and then you can put the trigger pin back in place. Oftentimes using your hands work, so you can just push it in there with your nail. And there you have it. Just give it a nice little test. If it works, everything is looking good. The next thing we're going to put back in place is the fan pattern control assembly. We're going to get our wrench. Nice and snug. The fan pattern control knob right in place. Make sure it kind of locks in place as you're putting it in. Find a little sweet spot somewhere. There we go. And then we get our fan pattern control screw. And just give it a quick test to make sure that it's working just fine. Excellent. Next thing we're going to put back is the rotating nipple at the back of the spray gun. Make sure that's nice and snug with one of the cutouts. Was the right one. Excellent. Next thing we're going to put back is a spindle valve and a spindle valve spring. Here's the fluid screw nut that will match with the indenture of the spring. And we're going to use our Fuji wrench to tighten that nicely. Excellent. Now to test the spindle valve, we can just pull the trigger and make sure that the trigger freely moves back and forth and there's no obstructions and it's not sluggish. So that's perfectly installed. Now we're going to flip the gun over and put the front components in place. This here is the air divider and air divider seal. And you got to make sure that the hole here matches the 12 o'clock position hole here at this spray gun body. Put that like so. Then you get your diffuser and diffuser seal. What I like to do is just kind of keep them together like this and match the little nub that comes out here into the 12 o'clock position to lock it in place. And make sure your gun is pointing upwards when you're doing this so nothing falls out of place. Once you have that, you get your fluid nozzle and that will lock all of those components in place. You got to make sure that this is nice and snug. Otherwise, you're going to get internal leaks or spray problems. Okay, make sure that all that is secure in place. There's no wiggling around. That's perfect. Next thing we're going to do is get our air cap and our collar and secure that in place. Nice and neatly. Nice and secure. Make sure that the air cap doesn't rotate. And then lastly, we're going to put in our needle. Then our needle spring with fluid control knob. So we're going to put that needle spring in there first, like so. Fluid control knob. Screw that in place. Just test it out to make sure that the trigger is pulling nice. Look at the tip of the spray gun and make sure that the tip of the needle recesses as you're pulling the trigger. And that's a good indication that the spray gun is well assembled. Okay, and now we're going to put back that cup assembly. Ready to go. Make sure that the latch is facing the front. There we go. And once again, we're going to use one of our cutouts to make sure this is nice and tight. And of course, our pressure tubes. Put it on one end like that. And you got to make sure that this pressure tube is always, as you know, a one-directional check valve here. So you got to make sure that the air comes from the back of the spray gun and into the lid of the cup. So we're going to connect the pressure tube, the other end to this side here. I'm going to turn that over. And that's how you strip and rebuild Fuji Spray's T-Model spray gun. If you have any further questions, feel free to give us a call at 1-800-650-0930 or send us an email at support@fujispray.com. My name is Josh from Fuji Spray. Thanks for watching.